Why does every casino on Earth make it nearly impossible to spend real money directly? Casino chips are a deliberate psychological buffer. Convert dollars into colorful discs, and your brain stops registering losses as real money. A mechanism behavioral economists call pain of pain suppression. Behavioral economist Drazen Prelec, whose token spending research appeared in the Journal of Marketing Research, found that people bet an average of 23% more when using tokens instead of cash. 23%, just from swapping the currency format at the cage. Step inside any major casino, the Bellagio in Las Vegas, for instance, and you'll find 0 clocks on the walls and 0 windows facing daylight. That's not an oversight. It's architecture as a trap. Without time anchors, the brain defaults to present moment focus. Robert Sapolsky documented how reward anticipation suppresses the prefrontal cortex in his 2004 book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. The prefrontal cortex being the exact region that tracks how long you've been sitting there. Casino floors are deliberately maze-like. Bill Friedman, a former casino operator turned academic, spent decades documenting how winding paths force players past more machines, multiplying impulse play by design. But here's the first twist. Friedman's maze model was challenged by designer Roger Thomas, who argued in 1990 that luxurious, open spaces encourage longer stays. Players who feel wealthy and comfortable don't look for the exit. Steve Wynn built Thomas's philosophy into the Wynn Las Vegas, which opened in 2005. Revenue per square foot at the Wynn outperformed the Strip average for its first decade. Comfort, it turns out, is profitable. Sound is the casino's invisible dealer. Slot machines are tuned to the musical key of C, a frequency psychoacoustics researchers at the University of British Columbia identified as maximally pleasant and minimally fatiguing to the human ear. Near miss sounds, the jingle that plays when 2 jackpot symbols land but the third just misses, trigger the same dopamine release as an actual win. Neuroscientist Luke Clark at Cambridge confirmed this in a 2009 brain imaging study. Look down in any major casino, and the carpet is deliberately ugly, loud, busy, visually overwhelming. Garish patterns make floors uncomfortable to stare at, forcing eyes upward toward the games and away from the exit signs. Casinos didn't invent loyalty programs, but they perfected them. The comp system, formalized by Las Vegas operators in the 1950s, hands high-spending players free rooms, meals, and shows, making them feel valued enough to keep losing. Casinos calculate comp value using a single formula: average bet multiplied by hours played multiplied by the house edge. They're not rewarding your spending, they're rewarding your expected loss. The gift is priced from your projected defeat. The house edge is the casino's guaranteed long-run profit margin. On an American roulette wheel, 38 numbered slots that pay out as if there were only 36, the house edge sits at exactly 5.26% on every single spin. Here's where it gets genuinely uncomfortable. Most regular casino visitors understand the house wins mathematically. MIT's blackjack card counting team from the 1980s knew every formula cold and still lost millions to variance and emotion. The culprit is the gambler's fallacy, the brain's hardwired belief that past random outcomes shape future ones. Psychologist Gideon Nave of Columbia Business School documented in 2014 that 72% of players bet on black after 10 consecutive red spins, expecting the wheel to self-correct. Slot machines run on variable ratio reinforcement, the same schedule B.F. Skinner identified in 1938 as the most addictive reward pattern in existence. Unpredictable wins are neurologically more compelling than predictable ones. Every time. Casino lighting is calibrated to mimic perpetual early evening, warm, low, and flattering. Lighting designer Hervé Descottes, whose firm L'Observatoire International has consulted on major casino renovations, documented how warm amber tones at low intensity measurably extend the time players stay comfortable at a table. In 1995, environmental psychologist Alan Hirsch published findings that a specific floral scent pumped through a Las Vegas casino floor increased slot machine revenue by 45% compared to unscented sections. The air itself is a sales tool. ATMs inside casinos aren't placed at entrances for convenience. They're buried deep on the floor, past rows of games. Walking to reload cash means passing dozens of machines. That walk is a designed temptation gauntlet, not a service feature. When Nevada casinos replaced mechanical slot reels with digital video screens in the mid-1990s, average revenue per machine jumped 40% within 3 years. The screen allowed faster play, more near misses, and richer sound. 3 levers pulled at once. Digital machines introduced losses disguised as wins. Spins where you bet $1, win 40 cents, and the machine erupts with lights and sound, as if you profited. Researcher Mike Dixon at the University of Waterloo documented this mechanic in 2010. Here's where the broader system snaps into focus. Every mechanic covered. Variable rewards, near misses, losses disguised as wins, no visible time cues, now lives inside mobile gaming and social media apps. The casino didn't stay in Las Vegas. Modern casino loyalty cards. Caesars Turtle Rewards program being the most documented. Track every bet, every pause, every machine switch. By 2012, Caesars held 45 million player profiles, making it one of the most sophisticated behavioral databases outside Silicon Valley. That data pinpoints pain points. Moments when players are about to leave after a losing streak. Caesar's algorithm triggers a printed voucher from the machine at exactly that moment. A free buffet, delivered when resistance is lowest. Casinos are legally required in most jurisdictions to display problem gambling hotlines. But a 2018 UNLV Center for Gaming Research Analysis found that small print disclosures placed near exits have near zero measurable impact on in-session behavior. Knowing the mechanism doesn't make you immune, but it changes your relationship to it. Psychologist Ellen Langer's 1975 Illusion of Control studies showed that simply naming a cognitive bias reduces its behavioral effect by a statistically significant margin. Remember those colorful chips from the opening? The single most effective countermeasure documented is mentally converting chips back to dollars before every bet. It sounds obvious. It works. A 2016 Journal of Gambling Studies paper confirmed a 19% reduction in bet size. The transfer of casino science into commerce is documented, not theoretical. In 2011, Harvard Business School professor Thales Teixeira published research showing that Amazon's Lightning deals use variable interval timing borrowed directly from slot machine payout logic, generating urgency that lifts conversion rates by measurable double-digit margins. Instagram's notification dot is a documented near-miss mechanic. Former product designer Asa Raskin, who coined the term infinite scroll, has stated publicly the badge is engineered to trigger the same anticipation loop as a slot pull. Spotify's Discover Weekly uses variable reward logic to make every Monday feel like a jackpot. The casino's fingerprints are everywhere. Here's what most people miss. The research framework that won Richard Thaler the 2017 Nobel Prize in Economics. Choice architecture. The idea that how options are presented shapes decisions more than the options themselves, was field tested inside casinos for decades before it reached academic journals. Vegas was the lab. The Nobel came later. So why does every casino make it nearly impossible to spend real money directly? Because the moment you hold a chip instead of $1, the house has already won the most consequential game, the one happening entirely inside your head.